Welcome back. Sorry, I pressed stop on my video instead of turning my camera around so we could see the board. So I apologize for that. We're looking at our pocket chart. On the left-hand side, it says non-living things. On the right-hand side, it says living things. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you some pictures of some items and I want us to sort them into the right category. So as I show you a picture, I want you to say living, or I want you to say non-living, okay? And I'll be listening. The first picture is a nut. Yes, I would say living. It can grow into a tree, can't it? How about igloo? Non-living. Ball. Good. Non-living. Rope. Ooh, you guys are good at this. Kite. Non-living. How about turtle? What do you think? Turtle is living, isn't it? Jeep. Non-living, good. Kind of like that truck we talked about. Wheelbarrow. Non-living, good. How about, oh, this one's cute. How about dog? Just like Ella's new dog, Daisy. So sweet. They're almost the same color, aren't they, Ella? Dog is living, yes. It eats, it breathes, and it grows. How about pumpkin? Living or non-living? Living, good. It needs oxygen. It eats nutrients from the soil as the seed is growing, as the plant grows. What else? What else makes it living? It eats, it breathes, it grows. It needs sunshine. How about box? Non-living, good. What do you think? Cow, good. Umbrella. Non-living, good. How about apple tree? Living or non-living? Yeah, we would say that is living. It needs water, sunlight. It grows. How about grandma? Yes, grandma is living. Good. How about your oven? We would say non-living. Caterpillar? Living, good. How about girl? Okay. And how about refrigerator or fridge? Yes, non-living. And the last card, fish. Living or non-living? Living, good. Excellent job, friends. We'll bring you a little bit closer, and we are going to name the items that you see on the board. Let's start with this non-living list. Here we go. Igloo, rope, ball, kite, Jeep, wheelbarrow, box, umbrella, oven, fridge. Now come over to our living list. Here we go. Nut, cow, turtle, apple tree, dog, grandma, pumpkin, caterpillar, girl, fish. Excellent job, friends. Now that we've gone and sorted living versus non-living, Let's come to the second part of our lesson today. Let me get you back into my other holder as we move on. I have another book I'd like to read to you today. I don't usually read 2 books to you today, or to you in one lesson, but today I just had to do it. This was kind of my fun one. This is our learning book. Okay? It's called Seed, Soil, Sun. And this book is going to go along with our experiment that we're going to prepare today. The supplies you'll need for class today are your baggie, which I already put 3 seeds in. You'll need a spray bottle, a spoon, maybe a paper towel. We'll talk more about that later. And we're going to be getting some dirt. So you can use dirt from outside. You can use potting soil, which would be the best kind of dirt, the kind of dirt that you plant your plants in, your house plants. It's called potting soil. You're also going to need your worksheet, Things a Plant Needs to Survive. Okay, so make sure you have that worksheet. Make sure you have your baggie with the seeds that were inside of it. And then spray bottle, your spoon. And I'm going to have you choose either between putting dirt in your bag or a wet paper towel. So discuss that with Mom and Dad, whether you're going to use potting soil or a wet paper towel. We don't need both. And that's what we'll be using for our experiment. Okay? I'll give you more time to collect those things, or you can pause the video now. Seed, Soil, Sun. Earth's Recipe for Food. Photographs by David Lundquist. Seed, Soil, Sun. A few seeds, a little soil, a ray of sunshine, a splash of rain, a breath of air. This is Earth's recipe for the food we eat. Nearly all of our food comes from seeds planted in the soil, moistened by the rain, and warmed by the sun. Tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, and peas all begin as tiny seeds. Apples, pineapples, melons, and mangoes start with seeds too. In fact, almost all plants on Earth grow from seeds. Each spring, farmers plant millions and millions of seeds in the soil. Wait for good rains and warm sunshine, then watch their fields turn into food for harvest in the fall. Some crops grow into food for people, and some are fed to animals. Then the animals provide us with milk, meat, eggs, and other products. More corn seeds are planted each year in the United States than any other kind of seed. Whether it is sweet corn in a backyard garden, field corn in a section of land that measures a mile across, or popcorn in a big bowl, it all begins with a little seed. The beginning of a new plant is curled up inside each seed. Moisture from the rain filters down to the buried corn seed, softening its skin and causing it to swell and split open. Part of the seed, the root, grows down into the soil. Another part of the seed, the shoot, reaches for the sun. So there's the root part of the seed and the shoot part of the seed. The roots part, boys and girls, is to collect water and nutrients or food from the soil. The shoot's job is to raise the leaves up into the sky to collect the energy from the sun. It also carries water from the ground that the roots collect up to the leaves. So it's almost like it has 2 jobs, doesn't it? A corn seed doesn't seem like much, but look out. When it is placed in good soil and the sun shines and the rain falls, the seed germinates or sprouts. It takes only a few weeks for the sprout to turn into a gigantic corn plant with roots reaching down over 6 feet into the ground. Can you say germinate? Germinate means it sprouts. Soil is another ingredient needed to make food. This tiny layer of our earth is made up of silt, sand, and clay, along with minerals, dead leaves, twigs, and a zillion tiny organisms. Each handful of soil contains more living things than all the human beings on earth. Wow! I didn't know that. You mean if I were to go outside and take a handful of dirt just like this, there would be more living things in that handful of dirt than there are human beings on earth? What? God is amazing, isn't he? The way he has created our earth. Man, I love nature. Microscopic one-celled bacteria that munch away on dead leaves and insects in the soil are so minute that it would take 1,000 of them lined up in a row to reach across the head of this pin. They use the energy stored in the leaves, roots, twigs, and insects, recycling nutrients that feed the corn. The earthy odor of rich soil is bacteria at work. So bacteria is dirty stuff, right? So if you have ever gone outside and smelled the dirt and you like it, that's the smell of bacteria working in the soil to turn all these dead things into this brown stuff. Can you believe that there's that many little insects and organisms in the dirt? Wow. If you lined 1,000 of them up in a line, they wouldn't even reach across that pinhead. That's how little they are. Earthworms, amoebas, mites, and moles also live in the soil. As they search for food, earthworms slither through the dirt, eating debris and discharging it as a rich natural fertilizer called castings. That's a fancy worm word for poop. They leave behind an underground network of tunnels that allows air and water to filter in. The air and water help the plant roots breathe and grow. Wow, so if you want to have healthy soil, you need worms. Have you ever thought about that? Their poop is like fertilizer. It's called castings. And when they wiggle through the dirt, they leave these tunnels that are perfect for the plants to grow in. Because those tunnels, it says, allow air and water to filter in, which plants need air and water, don't they? The soil provides a home for the seed, but the seed only has enough energy inside itself to push the new seedling out of the soil. Then the sun has to take over. Sunlight is a key ingredient in Earth's food recipe. Plants are the only living things that can use the sun's energy to grow. Plant leaves are nature's food factories. Cells within the leaves absorb energy from the sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and water through the plant's roots. Then these ingredients combine in a chemical reaction that creates sugar for the plant to grow and releases oxygen into the air for people to breathe. So it says that it needs sun, air, and water to grow. Say it with me. Say sun, air, and water to grow. The way plants turn sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into sugar is called photosynthesis. And plants are really good at it. In fact, when they make energy, they make more than they need, and they store the extra energy in their leaves, stems, flowers, fruits, roots, and seeds, our food from plants. When you eat lettuce, you are eating a leaf. When you eat celery, you are eating a stem. When you eat broccoli, you are eating flower buds. When you eat apples or tomatoes, you are eating fruits. All different parts of the plant, isn't it? When you eat carrots, you're eating roots. When you eat sweet corn, you are eating seeds. And when you drink milk from a cow, you're drinking food made when the cow eats plants like grass, corn, and soybeans. All these foods begin as seeds. The seed starts the plant. The soil feeds the plant. The sun, the air, and the rain combine to grow the plant into food. And as they grow, all of Earth's plants produce oxygen for us to breathe. When the plants are harvested, they provide food for the world and new seeds to begin the cycle once again. The end. Good job, friends. All right, I'd like you to get out your worksheet, Things a Plant Needs to Survive. We're going to be filling this in together. When you're done with this worksheet, boys and girls, this is one of the worksheets that I want you to send back to me at school because I'm going to put it in your science journal. Okay, so this is one of those rare assignments that I want back, kind of like your math tests or your reading books. This is something I want you to hand back in. So first things first, put your name at the top. Name on your paper. First thing, name on your paper. First thing, where does it go? At the top. Where does it go? At the top. Name on your paper. First thing. All right, here we go. Things a plant needs to survive. Ooh, they've given us some clues. Say hallelujah. What do you think a plant needs to survive? Number one, what is this? You're right, it's the sun. Let's write sun. S. N. A plant needs sun. What's number two? What's this blowing? We would say air. Air is spelled A-I-R. Air. Good job. Number three, what's dripping out of this pot? This watering can. Yes, water. So we would say water for number three. W-A-T. Water. What two letters make the sound? Good, water. Number four, what's this brown stuff? Yes, we could call it dirt. We could also call it, the scientific word is soil. Let's say soil, so we sound more like a scientist. Soil, S. What two letters make the oi sound? Tigers, dolphins, you know this. What two letters make the oi? O-I, good. S, oil. There we go. Things a plant needs to survive: sun, air, water, and soil. Let's move on. Why does the plant need the sun? Do you remember that really big word it said on page, let's see. It was on this page. I'll read it again and see if you can tell me, why does the plant need the sun? The way plants turn sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into sugar is called photosynthesis. And plants are really good at it. In fact, when they make energy, or sugar, they make more than they need, and they store the extra energy in their leaves, stems, flowers, fruits, roots, and seeds, our food from plants. So why does the plant need sun? To turn what? We could say maybe to make energy. It says, and plants really are good at it. In fact, when they make energy, they make more than that they need. There's that really big word in there. How about this word? Photosynthesis. That's turning the sunlight into sugar, and that sugar helps the plant make all its parts that we eat, right? So let's say something like that. Why does a plant need sun? We'll say A, this is going to be a long one, so stick with me. A plant, you gotta write small. A plant needs sun for we're going to write photosynthesis. Ooh, that's a big one. A plant needs sun for photo. That's P. Ooh, sorry, kids. P-H-O-T-O. That's photo. Photosynthesis. Here we go. The Y makes the I sound there. Photosyn, N, T, H, E, S, I, S. A plant needs sun for photosynthesis. And I want you to do a comma. Okay, I'll give you a minute to get that written down. A plant needs sun for photosynthesis. Turning the sun's, and that's an apostrophe S because the energy belongs to the sun, so I'd say turning the sun's energy into what? Turning the sun's energy into food for the plant. There we go. A plant needs sun for photosynthesis, turning the sun's energy into food for the plant. And that food that we talked about was that sugar. It turns the sun's energy into sugar, doesn't it? And the plant makes more than it could possibly need. So it turns that into fruits and flowers and roots and stems and all those wonderful things that we eat. I'm just giving you a little extra time here, friends, to finish the writing, and then we'll move on to the last part. Okay, here we go. Last part. Things you need to survive. I know you're not a plant, but what do you need to survive, friends? Any ideas? Do you need food? Absolutely. Number one, I'd say food. You have got to have that. I've heard some scientists say you can only live about 30 days without food. That's like 1 month. So if you, let's say May 1st is on Friday, right? If you stopped eating on Friday, you could only last for the month of May, and then you would probably die without food. That's about how long it takes. That's a little fun fact. What about number 2? What else do you need to survive? Do you need water? Absolutely. You need water to survive. If you didn't drink anything else for the rest of your life but water, meaning you didn't drink any juice or pop or milk, you could live on water alone. The only thing your body needs for drinking is water. Do you know how long you can survive without water? They say only about 3 days. Only 3 days, friends. You wouldn't even live through the weekend. If you stopped drinking water today on Wednesday, you probably couldn't even survive until Sunday without water. Isn't that interesting? Your body can last a lot longer without food, a whole month. But man, oh man, you need water for sure. What is something else you need to survive? Do you need air to breathe? Yes, you need air to breathe, or you will die. And that only takes, friends, maybe a minute or two, right? So we need air even more than we need water and food. We can't even survive more than a few minutes without air. All right, number 4. I'm going to tell you something that you need to survive that maybe you haven't even thought of. Because it's not really a thing. It is more of a activity. You need sleep. Did you know that? You cannot survive without rest or sleep. So you can say rest or sleep. I'm going to write both. Rest or sleep. You must rest or sleep every day to survive. I've also heard sayings where scientists have said, people have stayed up for 24 hours, but it's really hard on them to not sleep. And after about 2 days of not sleeping, your body really starts to get sick and your brain can't work correctly. And I think the longest someone has stayed awake is 3 or 4 days, but their body really started to deteriorate and it was not good. You have to get rest. You have to sleep to survive. There is a 5th one that I like to write down too, and that's shelter. As humans, we need shelter. And you could say shelter is like a house or some kind of home, or you could even say clothing is something that we'd put on us to protect us from the elements, from the outside nature. So like clothing or shelter could be some others that are, kind of close right there in that group too. But can I tell you, other than that, there's not much you need? Isn't that amazing? Think of everything that you have in your house. All the possessions you own, everything in your bedroom, everything in your kitchen, everything in your house, everything in your garage, everything in your town, everything in our classroom. I mean, it's all great stuff, but we really only need this short list of things to survive. Good job, friends. All right, it is time for our experiment. So each of you got a bag, and this is like a window greenhouse. Miss Britt bought these for our class, so if you see Miss Britt, you tell her thank you so much. She bought us these super cute bag greenhouses for us to use for our plants unit. I sent home 3 pumpkin seeds for you that were inside this bag. Do you know that these are pumpkin seeds from us? I didn't buy these at the store. Do you remember a time this year when we collected pumpkin seeds? Do you remember? Yeah, in the fall when we did our pumpkin investigation for Super Science. Yes, I saved some of the seeds from you guys so that you could plant seeds from your pumpkins. Isn't that cool? All right, I'll take 3 out. Now I have to be honest, I've never done this where we try and plant seeds that we saved. I've always bought store-bought seeds, but I think we should try it this year, right? What's the worst thing that could happen? They won't grow. And if that's the case, we'll just go get some seeds from the store and try it again. But let's try these first, okay? So I'm going to take my seeds. Now I have to make a decision. This is what I was talking about. There's 2 ways we can put our seeds in our bag. We can take our seeds and we can lay them on a wet paper towel, okay, like this, and kind of fold them in there like that. See, again, it's almost like a hot dog. I'd space them out if I were you, like that, and kind of just fold them in there, okay? Again, it's gonna look like that, see? And then I'd put them, you can put it right inside your bag, like that. And then you could hang it in your window. Now I would hang it in your sunniest window. The sunniest windows in any house is a south-facing window. So you can ask your mom or your dad, what window is the sunniest window in your house? And that's the window you should put this in. Again, most of the time it's going to be a south-facing window. So that's one way you can do your greenhouse. The other way is not the paper towel way, but the soil way. And you can see where it has this fill line, it says. So if we want to, we can put some potting soil up to this line and then poke our little seeds down into it. Now I've done a window greenhouse before, but friends, I've always done it in a paper towel that's wet. See how moist that is? Now it's not dripping wet, but it is moist all the way through. I've never done where there's dirt inside, so I think I'm going to try the dirt way this year and just see how it goes. So I'm going to, let's see, put my phone there, and you get to see me fill my bag with potting soil. Okay? I'm going to steal it. Ha ha ha. I'm going to steal it from my plant over here. I hope it doesn't mind. Okay. Remember, only get some potting soil if it's okay with Mom and Dad. Okay, I think that's about enough. Okay, we've got some dirt in there. Now I'm going to want to spray this dirt wet. Now here is something that's very important. If you put too much water in here, your seed will drown. Seeds can't swim, just like you couldn't swim forever in the lake. You have to get out or you have to get dried. Seeds are the same way. If you fill this with too much water, your seed will die. If you don't put enough water in it and it gets dry, your seed probably won't grow. The most important part of this experiment is that you have just the right amount of water. And that can be tricky. So when it comes to spraying inside the bag, have mom or dad do it with you and they can help you. You just want your soil moist. Can you say moist? Moist means damp, but not soaking wet. Damp, but not soaking wet. A spray bottle might take a little bit longer than do you see how it's like coming in there? Do you see that water starting to wet the dirt? I do. I'll say this, the spray bottle takes longer to fill, but I'll tell you what, it works much better than just pouring water in there. This gets the dirt gently wet. And you can totally see the water coming down in there? I do. And I'm going to tell you another fun fact. Talking to your plants helps them grow. Did you know that? It's true. Seeds don't have ears and plants don't have ears or even a brain. But it is a proven scientific fact that if you talk to your plants, it helps them grow. My daughter Stella just did a science experiment. You know how you were doing your 5 senses? Stella did a science experiment on does talking to your plants help them grow? And I'll post that video on our Facebook page. Go on there and watch her do her presentation and see what happens when she talked to her plants every day. She planted 2 pots and with the same soil, same seeds, same water, same sun. Everything was the same in the 2 pots. But one pot, she put headphones on it. And then for about 3 or 4 hours a day, she played, it's called affirmations. It was like someone saying nice things and sweet things and kind things over and over for like 3 or 4 hours a day. And it was amazing what happened, the difference. The affirmations were things like, you can do it, you're strong, you're beautiful, I know you can do it. It was just super, you're kind, you're good, anything is possible. It was like all these funny things that they were saying that were being said to the seeds. You'll have to see it. Okay, I think this is pretty good. It's not super wet. It's not like sitting in a puddle, but I can see that it's getting moist through and through. Again, you want moisture through and through, but you don't want it sitting in water, okay? I'll just finish up, and then I'm going to get my seeds and put those inside too.